This is channel Xianxia Audio. Please support me a subscription. This is the series I'm Not a Theater God. Chapter 31. Extinguished, 2 chapters in 1. As Chen Ling thought, he walked out the door, and several white flakes drifted past his eyes. He paused slightly, looking up at the sky. It's snowing? Under the azure aurora, snowflakes fell like catkins from the sky. Chen Ling reached out and caught one. The 8-pointed crystal slowly melted in his warmth. The Aurora realm is different from other realms. It has no 4 seasons. Only perpetual winter. Chu Muyan slowly walked out of the house, also reaching out to catch a snowflake, and said with some confusion, "However, isn't this snow a bit sudden? Is it very sudden?" Chen Ling asked. A few days ago, there was a once-in-a-decade downpour, and today it suddenly started snowing again. I just feel like the weather in the Aurora realm is getting more and more chaotic. Chu Muyan pondered, his brows furrowing tighter. Brother, this snow is falling so fast. Chen Yan, draped in his opera robe, quickly rushed onto the street. He stood amidst the gradually denser snowflakes, his chestnut eyes filled with surprise and anticipation. At this rate, there'll be enough snow to build a snowman tomorrow. Looking at the red-clad youth reaching out to catch snowflakes, a gentle warmth appeared in Chen Ling's eyes. He smiled and said, "You build one every year, haven't you had enough?" "This time is different," Chen Yan said seriously. "This time the snow is really heavy. Maybe I can build a dozen or so in one go. We can then build a tall stage, and I can practice my opera on it, with the snowmen as my audience. Isn't me being your audience enough?" "Brother, who sings opera with only one audience member every time?" Chen Yan pouted. "If I never have an audience, what if I get stage fright when I perform at school?" "That's true." Chen Ling smiled, slowly looking up at the sky. "Then it would be great if this snow could keep falling. If it keeps falling, it'll turn into a snow disaster." Chu Muyan pushed up his glasses, hesitated for a moment, then took a woolen coat from the house and put it on. "I need to go out." Chen Ling and Chen Yan exchanged glances. "Will you be back for dinner then?" "Yes." As Chu Muyan's figure gradually disappeared at the end of the street, Chen Ling checked the time. "I should go too. The mountain road is difficult in the snow." "Wait." Chen Yan seemed to remember something, quickly ran back into the house, and stuffed the cotton coat he had mended overnight into Chen Ling's hand. "Brother, I've mended it for you. Be careful when you go up the mountain today. Don't get into a fight again." Chen Yan's tone was uncharacteristically serious. Chen Ling carefully examined the coat and found almost no signs of damage. It was as perfect as new. He couldn't help but praise it. "Ayan from our family is really skillful." Chen Yan giggled. "I'm off." Chen Ling waved his hand and walked straight towards 2nd District. The snow was falling heavier and heavier, just as Chen Yan had hoped. By the time Chen Ling was halfway there, the accumulated snow had already submerged his shoes, and the cold snowmelt seeping into his feet made him feel cold from the inside out. He rubbed his hands together as he walked against the snowflakes, muttering to himself, "It wouldn't really turn into a snow disaster, would it?" He walked for a long time. The pedestrians on the street became increasingly sparse, but the enforcers rushing past became more and more numerous. They wore black and red uniforms, riding their horses swiftly in a certain direction, not even glancing at Chen Ling as he walked by. The snowflakes stirred up by the airflow slapped Chen Ling's face. He wiped his face, looking with confusion in the direction they departed. What happened? Chen Ling didn't know, nor was he interested in following to investigate, as long as the direction these people were going wasn't Han Shuang Street. He didn't care where they went. After about 3 hours of walking, Chen Ling returned to the familiar Bingchen Street. The ruins had mostly been cleared, and the desolate half of the street looked even more lifeless under the cover of white snow. Just as he was about to go find Xianfan and the others for today's task, several figures walked quickly towards him, enthusiastically waving. "Brother Chen Ling." It was none other than Xianfan and his group. "Sir Qian." Chen Ling still politely added the suffix, "sir." After all, he and Qianfan's group hadn't completely fallen out, so a polite facade was still necessary. "What's today's task?" "Task? No need for a task." Qianfan waved his hand. "Given your, excellent performance yesterday, the higher-ups have decided to grant you an enforcement officer slot. You can go straight home today and report to the headquarters in 3rd District tomorrow." Chen Ling was stunned. He had imagined 10,000 possibilities on the way. For instance, a group of people from Bingchen Street ambushing him for revenge, Or Xianxia and the others completely tearing off their polite facade and making things difficult for him? Or being told he was directly removed from the enforcement officer list and sent home? But he never expected that he would be directly accepted? Impossible. Could Ma Zhang really have seen his strength and wanted to recruit him? Chen Ling had only met Ma Zhang once and didn't know much about him. For a moment, he couldn't figure out what the other party was thinking. From now on, we'll be colleagues. Xianxia smiled and patted Chen Ling's shoulder, as if they had been close friends for many years. There might have been some misunderstandings between us before. Brother Chen Ling, don't mind it, okay? That's right, Brother Chen Ling. If you have time, come to 2nd District often to play cards with us. You're always welcome. Almost forgot. There's also this. This year's exam is different from previous years. Although you are on the reserve list, you did work for us official enforcers for 3 days. So the higher-ups decided to give you a subsidy. Although the amount isn't large, the road ahead is still long. The salary of an enforcer is very generous. Xianxia slipped a small roll of oil paper into Chen Ling's hand. The latter took it in surprise, peeled back a corner, and glanced inside. 10 silver coins. Chen Ling's heart skipped a beat. In this world, 1 silver coin's purchasing power is equivalent to 250 copper coins. And a copper coin's purchasing power is comparable to the RMB of his previous life. This small roll of oil paper, when converted, was 2,500 yuan. Although it wasn't a huge sum, Chen Ling had only worked for 2 days. And Zhao Yi helped the road bureau with de-icing, working hard all day, and 2 people only got 20 copper coins. If the subsidy for just 2 days as a reserve was this high, how high must the salary of a formal enforcer be? Chen Ling looked at them deeply and couldn't help but sigh. Sometimes, respect and politeness are truly reserved for the strong. Yesterday, they had forced Wu Yudong away. If he hadn't possessed the killing rhapsody, he probably wouldn't have escaped the same fate. But now, they could only smile at him, because now he had the qualifications to be on equal footing with them. Chen Ling didn't consider himself some protagonist of a wish fulfillment novel. Unable to simply rely on a surge of, if you provoke me, I'll fight you to the death. Hot blood to kill these hypocritical villains on the spot. Doing so would be tantamount to declaring war on the entire enforcement system of the Aurora realm. His home was still on Han Shuang Street. He still had a younger brother who was about to return to school. And he still needed the identity of an enforcer to pursue the soldier god path. From every angle, he should go with the flow and let this matter end here. Then thank you all, Chen Ling said indifferently, without raising his head. Brother Chen Ling, the snow makes the road slippery. Walk slowly on your way back. Xianxia's smile didn't fade. The list of provisional members who've been promoted should be announced at noon today. You can keep an eye out on your way back. We'll meet again if fate allows. Chen Ling gave a lukewarm reply and turned to walk home. As Chen Ling walked away, the enthusiastic smiles on Xianxia and the others' faces gradually faded, replaced by coldness and disdain. This Chen Ling really has no shame. An enforcer sneered. When Brother Ma finishes up, 3rd District will change. Then, let's see where he can jump to. By the way, is there any news from Brother Ma? No idea. Judging by the time, it should be soon. Just as the few of them were talking, a figure ran hurriedly from a distance, slipped in the heavy snow, and almost fell to the ground. Dead. What's dead? Han Meng, the law enforcement officer chief of 3rd District, is dead. He stood up and said loudly. News from 3rd District says he fought 2 disasters alone and ultimately perished with them. Enforcement officer Ma Zhang is temporarily acting as director, and has already given the order. The 3rd District is immediately unsealed. And the 2nd District will be unsealed soon. Upon hearing this news, everyone's eyes immediately lit up. It's done. Is it confirmed? Is that Han Meng really dead? Xianxia asked again. The news from the 3rd District says so. It was personally delivered by Brother Ma's confidant. Xianxia immediately felt relieved, his face beaming with joy. With Han Meng, this big mountain, gone, our lives will be much easier. The business on Bingchen Street can finally operate. Go, gather Ji Yu Dao, Boneblade, and his gang. And find more dancers and prostitutes. Good wine and meat. Let's hold a celebration feast. It's also a good way to let them know who to follow for a good life from now on. Yes, Brother Fan. ... Chen Ling, clutching 10 silver coins, slowly climbed over the back hill, the flying snow adorning his black hair with frost. He had just spent 2 hours walking from the 3rd District. stayed for barely 5 minutes, and now had to return the same way. By the time he got back to Han Street, it would probably be noon again. But no matter what, he had received good news and 10 silver coins. This money was enough for him to buy new clothes for himself and Chen Yan. And he could also find someone to fill the leaks in the house, saving them from freezing at home on snowy days. There's still a lot of anticipation. Enough to live stably for a few days, Chen Ling murmured, glancing at the characters flashing in the snow. But speaking of which, he seemed to be genuinely much better than when he first transmigrated. Ever since he took back control of his body from the audience that time. The audience hadn't interfered with his surroundings for a long time. And everything was developing in a better direction. He walked in the snow for a long time, until the accumulated snow was above his ankles. Finally returning to Han Street, he was about to go straight home. But his peripheral vision caught sight of the pastry shop next door, which was preparing to close. His heart stirred, and he slowly stopped. "Boss, how much is this cake?" Chen Ling pointed to an exquisitely shaped cake in the display window and asked. 200 copper coins. The boss looked up, saw it was Chen Ling, and raised his eyebrows slightly. "It's a Ling? Why are you suddenly buying a cake?" They were all neighbors on Han Street, and the owner of this shop also recognized Chen Ling. But given Chen Ling's family's circumstances, he had never bought anything from the shop. To be honest, throughout Han Street, few households could afford a cake for 200, and even small cake cups for 50 were rarely bought. "I passed the martial arts test." Chen Ling smiled. "I bought a cake to celebrate. My younger brother has never eaten cake since he was little." "You've become an enforcer?" the boss exclaimed in surprise. "Then you really should celebrate properly. How about this? I'll charge you 150. "Thank you, boss." "You're welcome. Han Street will still need your care in the future." The boss wrapped the cake, tied it with a festive red ribbon, and handed it to Chen Ling with both hands. Chen Ling took the cake, paid, and walked straight home. After a few steps, he heard several enforcers rushing past. "The calamity is removed. 3rd District unsealed. The calamity is removed. 3rd District unsealed." Quote. As the voices of the enforcers gradually faded, some residents of Han Street began to come out of their houses, all feeling a sense of relief. Since the disaster bell rang, the 3rd District had been sealed for 5 days, and everyone was in a state of panic. Now that the calamity was gone, everyone's lives could get back on track. Thinking this, they suddenly found the heavy snow outside more pleasant. And when Chen Ling heard this news, his heart was suddenly startled. The calamity is removed? He was still here. Could it be Ayan? Chen Ling subconsciously quickened his pace, hurrying home. But when he reached his doorstep, he knew his worries were unnecessary. The familiar red-clothed youth was squatting at the entrance of the house, diligently twisting snowballs. He carefully stacked the snowballs to form the outline of a snowman. But his palm slipped, and the 2 snowballs immediately shattered. Chen Yan sighed. His peripheral vision caught sight of Chen Ling walking from a distance, and his tightly furrowed brows instantly relaxed as he spoke in surprise. "Brother, why are you back so early?" "I passed the assessment early, so I came back a bit sooner." Chen Ling breathed a sigh of relief, smiling with a sense of relief. He didn't know what had happened on the enforcer's side, or which calamity they had removed. Since he and Chen Yan were both safe and sound, nothing else mattered. "You passed?" Chen Yan's mouth dropped open. "Brother, are you really an enforcer now?" "Yes." Chen Ling walked into the house, placed the cake on the table, and beckoned to him. "It's a rare opportunity. I bought a cake. Let's celebrate together." Upon hearing the word, cake, Chen Yan's eyes immediately lit up. He quickly ran into the house, his flowing opera robe sweeping in large snowflakes, and he swiftly sat down at the table, curiously watching Chen Ling unwrap the box. "Brother, this cake must be expensive, right?" "Not expensive." Chen Ling smiled. He pulled out a handful of silver coins from his pocket and spread them on the table. "Brother has money now. In the future, our family will have even more money." "So much money." Chen Yan's eyes widened in shock. "We can use this for a long time. It's good that you're going to school too. Now the tuition problem is also solved." Chen Ling unwrapped the package, and a large cream cake appeared on the table. For Chen Ling, the craftsmanship and ingredients of this cake were incomparable to those in his previous life. But for Chen Yan, this was something he had countless times yearned for from outside a display window. Chen Yan couldn't help but swallow. "Brother, should we wait for Dr. Chu?" Let's not wait for him. We don't know when he'll be back. Just leave a piece for him. Chen Ling took out a few complimentary candles, inserted them into the cake, and lit them one by one. The orange candle light flickered in the room, reflecting the faces of the two young boys and the flying snow outside. Ayan, you blow them out. Can I blow out candles even if it's not my birthday? Chen Yan asked. Of course you can. Remember to make a wish before you blow. Okay. Chen Yan immediately clasped his hands together, bowing his head solemnly in the candlelight, like a devout worshipper. Chen Ling didn't know what wish Chen Yan had made. He only saw Chen Yan smiling at him after opening his eyes, his chestnut-colored pupils as clear as water. What wish did you make? Chen Ling asked. I can't say, or it won't come true. That's true. Excuse me, is Chen Ling home? As the two were talking, a figure cautiously walked to the doorway, standing in the heavy snow and looking into the house. Wu Yudong? Chen Ling recognized the figure leaning on a crutch, raising an eyebrow in surprise. Why are you here? Come in and talk. Wu Yudong smiled awkwardly and slowly walked into the house. He glanced at the cake and candles on the table, his eyes full of envy. I just saw the list posted on the street. You've been made an official enforcer, haven't you? Yes. Congratulations. Wu Yudong's smile held bitterness. I thought you'd be forced out like me, but I didn't expect you actually succeeded. As he said this, Chen Ling detected the sourness and helplessness deep in his words. Brother, who is he? Chen Yan curiously sized up Wu Yudong. His name is Wu Yudong, and he's a friend who went to Bingchen Street with me these past 2 days. Wu Yudong was stunned. A friend? Chen Yan mused. Then should we give him a slice of cake too? Yes, of course. We should give him a slice. Are you cutting it or am I cutting it? No rush. The candles haven't been blown out yet. As Chen Ling spoke, he beckoned to the bewildered Wu Yudong beside him. Yudong, don't just stand there. Sit down and have a slice with us. Oh, okay. Wu Yudong slowly sat down at the table. He looked at Chen Ling with a strange expression, then at his own side. Chen Ling, can I ask a question? What? Since just now, who have you been talking to? Chen Ling froze. A bone-chilling gust of wind suddenly entered the room, and the burning candles abruptly extinguished. Chapter 32. The Thug. Open black lens bracket audience anticipation +20 close black lens bracket. The snowman's remains melted in the dead silence. After the candle's smoke dissipated, Chen Ling's face was as pale as paper. Chen Ling stammered. I was talking to my younger brother. Where is your younger brother? Wu Yudong looked at the empty seat beside him. Aren't there just the two of us in the room? Chen Ling looked at the opposite seat, which was now empty. In a trance, the fading afterimage of a boy's smile blurred in his memory. Large beads of sweat slid down Chen Ling's forehead. His back was soaked, and his confused, hollow eyes trembled incessantly, like a sleeper who had just woken from a nightmare. No, impossible. Chen Ling abruptly stood up, the chair legs scraping the floor with a harsh screech. How can there be only two of us? Chen Ling's voice suddenly rose. My brother was just here. Before, he was building a snowman at the door. And this morning he saw me off at the door. My cotton overcoat was mended by him. He forcefully took off his cotton overcoat, pointing at the perfectly mended spot. Look, this was mended by Ayan. I can't sew clothes at all. Also, all these wooden boards on the wall, they were all repaired by him. Our house also has a doctor from Aurora City living here. He's also seen Ayan. If you don't believe me, you can ask him. I understand. Wu Yudong seemed to be frightened by Chen Ling. He said flustered. I just asked because I saw you talking to yourself in the air just now. It was quite scary. I wasn't talking to myself in the air. Chen Ling pointed at the void opposite him, his bloodshot eyes staring at Wu Yudong. My brother was sitting there just now. You must have seen him when you came in, right? I really didn't see him. Wu Yudong felt wronged. He looked at the strangely behaving Chen Ling, hesitated for a long time, and then tentatively asked, Chen Ling, have you recently encountered a disaster? Chen Ling froze in place. Open black lens bracket. So, you also fused with a disaster? Close black lens bracket? Open black lens bracket. I don't know. When I woke up, I was already standing there. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Did you also lose a piece of memory? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Yes. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. But the Grey Realm's intersection point isn't in the back mountain? You should have still been in surgery at the time. Why were you also affected? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. I don't know. I just remember the doctor gave me anesthesia. And when I woke up, I was. Close black lens bracket. Familiar conversations echoed in Chen Ling's ears. He vaguely seemed to have caught something. His pupils slightly contracting. No, Chen Ling muttered to himself. No, it's all wrong. Chen Ling, are you all right? Back mountain? Chen Ling suddenly looked up in a certain direction, rushing out of the house like a madman, not even bothering to grab the cotton overcoat he had just taken off. He simply wore a thin top and plunged into the heavy snow. As his figure disappeared at the end of the street, Chu Muyan, wearing a wool coat, walked to the doorstep. He looked at the direction Chen Ling had left in surprise. And just as he was about to enter the house, he saw Wu Yudong standing alone in the living room. And his brows immediately furrowed. Who are you? I'm Chen Ling's friend. Under the silver-rimmed glasses, those eyes immediately narrowed, revealing a dangerous aura. What did you just say to him? I didn't say anything. I just thought he was talking to himself strangely. So I asked him who he was talking to, and then... Chu Muyan's expression drastically changed. He glanced again at the direction Chen Ling had left. Do you know what you've done? Chu Muyan's voice seemed to come from the netherworld. The moment Wu Yudong met Chu Muyan's gaze, his heart trembled. He had never seen such cold and crazy eyes. Wu Yudong was terrified. He shivered and took half a step back, tripped over a chair, and fell to the ground with a thud. Chu Muyan took a deep breath, stepped into the house, and gently closed the door with both hands. The drafty doorway blocked out the light and snow from outside. The living room was enveloped in gloom. The figure in the wool coat slowly walked towards Wu Yudong. He pushed his glasses up. Beneath his refined exterior, a ruthless malevolence was unreservedly revealed. Like a ferocious beast confined within a human shell, shedding its disguise and bearing its bloody, hideous fangs. Do you know how rare a research subject a fusion person is? One who maintains such a delicate balance between madness and normalcy. Do you know how much effort I put into acting along with him to prevent him from noticing his abnormality? Do you know what kind of monster you might unleash? Wu Yudong was scared senseless. With his legs already broken, he wanted to escape but couldn't, only able to drag his body backward little by little. I don't know, I really don't know, he spoke in a pleading tone. I've been guarding here for 3 days, not letting anyone near Chen Ling or this house. And you just had to stumble in yourself. Why? Chu Muyan suddenly lifted a corner of the chair and swung it, smashing it onto Wu Yudong's head. Bang! A muffled thud echoed in the room. Wu Yudong fainted on the spot. A large gash was opened on his forehead, and crimson blood flowed wildly, quickly forming a pool of blood. Chu Muyan showed no sign of stopping. He stared intently at Wu Yudong, who lay on the ground like a corpse, and swung the chair, smashing it onto his body again and again. Why? Hot blood splattered all over the wool coat, and a streak of crimson climbed onto the lenses of the silver-rimmed glasses. Chu Muyan no longer had his previous refined demeanor. Instead, he was like an executioner, a thug, frantically venting his anger in the unseen darkness. As the chair repeatedly smashed onto the limp body, Wu Yudong's breathing gradually ceased. Bang! With the final blow, the chair finally shattered and broke apart. Chu Muyan wiped his sweat, his chest heaving violently. His blood-stained fingertips lightly pushed his glasses up, and his deep blue eyes stared at the pool of blood and mud beneath his feet. After an unknown amount of time, the madness in his eyes gradually faded, and a sharp scalpel appeared in his palm. At the same time, a figure stumbled through the snow, arriving at the back mountain. His thin clothing was already soaked with sweat, heat and cold overlapping on Chen Ling's body. He crossed the unmanned yellow caution tape, passed through snowdrifts with wooden signs, as if searching for something. This was the starting point of everything, and the place where the truth was buried. Chuwu. Chapter 33. Memory. Chen Ling had never been here before, except for the time he was dragged here and buried by Chen Tan and the other person in his inherited memories. But for some reason, as he personally stepped onto the land of Chuwu, a strange sense of familiarity emerged in his heart. This familiarity wasn't just one, but two. He looked at the snow-covered graves before him, and fragmented memories flooded his mind, as if two completely different memories converged here. One was Chen Ling's, the other was Chen Yan's. He moved through the graves by instinct, as if searching for something. Finally, he stopped in front of a mound of earth that had no wooden sign or any other marker. He stared blankly at the mound for a long time, then knelt on the thick snow. The pale, snowy ground swayed in his vision, and in a daze, that memory belonging to Chen Yan became clearer. Ellipsis. Name: Chen Yan. Age: 15. Number: 39,180. On the cold operating table, Chen Yan answered cautiously. A strong light shone down from above, making it impossible for him to open his eyes. He could only see blurred figures moving around the operating table. The person matches. That's right. Such a young age, and he got this kind of illness. Tisk. When does the surgery start? Wait a bit longer. The heart over there hasn't arrived yet. If they don't get it, we won't be able to fool them here. The price of hearts on the black market is so high now. Did those parents really get the heart we asked for? Get my ass. They're just a family of paupers. Even if they sold their house, they couldn't afford it. Then where did the heart come from? Haha, don't you know? What? They're going to use their eldest son's heart to save this younger son. Really? Is that necessary? Those parents were diagnosed years ago, saying they couldn't have children. So they picked one up from the street to raise, planning for him to support them in their old age. But who knew that a few years later, for some reason, she got pregnant again and gave birth to a younger son. The couple, who had originally resigned themselves to fate, were overjoyed and immediately cherished him like a treasure. If it were you, a wild child picked up from the street, and a biological son miraculously born through heaven's grace, which would you choose? Tisk. Hearing this conversation, Chen Yan, lying on the operating table, suddenly opened his eyes. He struggled to sit up, looking at the two people who were speaking, his pale face filled with shock and disbelief. You said, whose heart is that? Your brother, Gu Dao, Boneblade, wearing sterile clothes, casually blew on his fingernails. What, didn't your parents tell you? Otherwise, how do you think, with your family's meager money, you could possibly find a suitable heart for you? Brother. Chen Yan stayed on the operating table for a long time until the two doctors next to him began to push him down. Only then did he snap back to reality and began to struggle like crazy. I don't want it. I'm not doing it. I'm not having the surgery. Chen Yan's voice carried a hint of a sob. I don't want my brother's heart. Let go of me. I don't want his heart. The heart is already on its way. Whether you want it or not is not up to you. I beg you, please tell my parents. Tell them I don't want a heart anymore. I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to perform on stage. I don't want anything anymore. Just let them spare my brother. I beg you. Lie still, lie still. It was unclear where Chen Yan got the strength, but he actually managed to break free from the grip of two adults, suddenly flipping off the operating table and stumbling towards the operating room door. Just then, the operating room door opened automatically, and a figure walked in, carrying a mysterious metal box. Chen Yan bumped into him and fell to the ground. The heart is here, the person said. Not bad. Those parents looked like cowards, but I didn't expect them to be so efficient. Gu Dao, Boneblade, took the metal box in surprise, a smile playing on his lips. Chen Yan sat blankly on the ground, the shadow of the metal box reflected in his unfocused pupils. His lips and face were completely pale, and his body trembled uncontrollably. No, I don't want it. A syringe gently pricked his body. Gu Dao, Boneblade, slowly squatted behind Chen Yan, his narrow eyes narrowing, like a viper. You don't want it? Ha ha ha. As the liquid in the syringe was gradually injected, Chen Yan only felt his head grow heavier and his consciousness recede like a tide. Before he completely fainted, he vaguely felt someone lean close to his ear, whispering like a demon. You wouldn't really think we would transplant the heart into you, would you? Ellipsis. Chen Ling suddenly woke up. Cold wind, carrying snowflakes, swirled through Chuwu, howling. His eyebrows and hair were whitened by the snow, and the biting cold seeped through his clothes, chilling him to the bone. Even so, he couldn't stop breaking out in cold sweat. Open black lens bracket audience expectation +5 close black lens bracket. Ayan. He stared blankly at the snow-covered mound beneath him, then trembled as he raised his hand and began to dig. His hands scraped away layers of ice and snow, turning red from the cold. Then the hard, frozen soil beneath. He had almost stopped thinking at this point, his mind filled only with this lonely mound and Chen Yan's struggling face. As he dug deeper into the soil, the second memory uncontrollably flooded his mind. Ellipsis. Damn it, why is this rain so heavy? Be careful, the mountain is muddy, don't slip. Why do we have to come here to dump the body? Wouldn't it be better to just bury it somewhere near Bingchen Street? Idiot. If you bury it near the street, passing wild dogs will smell it sooner or later. Once it's discovered, the enforcer will have to dig him up. And once he's dug up, they'll have to start an investigation. Xianxia said that Chuwu is full of bodies. So dumping a body here won't be discovered. Do we have to share this deal with Xianxia and his gang? For business on Bingchen Street, the enforcer side has to take 30%. Otherwise, why do you think they help us? 30%? What a rip-off. Has all the fat been squeezed out of this kid? Kidneys, liver, corneas, bone marrow, blood, Gu Dao, bone blade, has taken everything that can be taken. Now this kid is just an empty shell. You didn't see it. When he was taken off the operating table, he was already a mess. So disgusting. It's a pity we don't know where those parents buried his brother. Otherwise we could dig him up and harvest another batch. Two figures in raincoats carried a black cloth bag, struggling through the rainy mountain path to Chuwu. They found an empty spot, put down the black cloth bag, and each took out a shovel, skillfully beginning to dig. Once the depth was suitable, they casually tossed the black cloth bag into it like trash. Chapter 34 The Clown. Done. Let's go. The two patted the mud off their bodies. And after confirming the pit had been completely covered, they turned and left. Torrential rain poured over countless graves, and dark red blood mixed with mud rolled down the cliff. Dozens of seconds later, two more figures in raincoats walked with difficulty from down the mountain. This should be it. The two carried glass kerosene lamps, their gaze sweeping around. They didn't notice the dark red mud flowing in the darkness and walked straight towards the recently dug pit. They placed the cloth bags in their hands on the ground, took out shovels, and began digging little by little beside the dark red pit. Ayan will get better, right? The rain hit their raincoats, making a dripping sound. The woman's hands, hidden in her sleeves, were pale and clenched, her voice a little hoarse. He definitely will, the man shoveling dirt said in a deep voice. The heart has already been sent over, and the surgery should have started tomorrow. Tomorrow we can go to 2nd District to see him. Hearing this, the woman's expression softened slightly. She looked at the black cloth bag at her feet, her eyes full of guilt. It's just hard on Aling. We must keep this matter a secret. What if Ayan asks about his brother when he comes back? Then we'll say he's already passed the enforcer exam and been transferred to 7th District, he can't come back. Will he believe that? Quote. The man didn't speak, only silently inserted the iron shovel all the way down and forcefully turned over a large amount of soil. Just bury it like this, he said. The two of them worked together to throw the black cloth bag in and gradually buried it. The woman hesitated for a moment, picked up a wooden plaque from the side, seemingly wanting to write something, but was stopped by the man. What are you doing? No matter what, we're mother and son, let's erect a monument for Aling. No, if we erect a monument here, what if an enforcer or someone else sees it? Then, I said, from now on, bury this matter deep in your heart. The woman was silent for a long time, but still threw the wooden plaque aside. Seeing this, the man gently comforted her. It's all right, when you wake up tomorrow, everything will be over. The two took one last look at the land, then turned and disappeared into the rain. The heavy rain washed over the dark red soil, as if to wash away their hatred and resentment. Two solitary graves, separated by a thin layer of sand, were connected to each other. Just as everything was about to fall silent amidst the downpour, a strange grayness spread from the void. Gray realm, convergence, ellipsis, Ayan, Ayan. Tears streamed uncontrollably from Chen Ling's eyes. He frantically clawed at the mud and sand until his fingertips were bleeding and raw. He didn't know what happened after the gray realm converged. Why only he survived? No. Chen Ling didn't survive either. He just became himself. But at this moment, who he was no longer mattered. This world played a joke on Chen Ling, letting him die at the hands of Chen Tan and his wife, who raised him, but at the same time, the world played an even bigger joke on Chen Tan and his wife. Chen Ling's vision was blurred by tears. In his mind, the events of the past 2 days flashed wildly. Gray realm convergence. A figure struggled to crawl out of Chuwu. The wound on his chest gradually healed. Countless scarlet eyes opened behind him, and the rainwater on the ground converged into a line of characters. Open black lens bracket audience expectation. 17% close black lens bracket. On the broken branch stuck in his fingernail, a shattered piece talisman swayed gently in the wind. The second calamity that attacked Bingchen Street perhaps never existed at all. From the beginning, It was Chen Ling himself, or rather, it was himself, who had just revived and whose open black lens bracket expectation close black lens bracket had dropped below 20%, causing him to lose his sanity. He was controlled by the audience, slaughtering half of Bingchen Street, until the audience was satisfied and leisurely walked towards 3rd District. No, it can't be like this. Chen Ling murmured. It's impossible that from beginning to end, it was only me? On the back mountain, he washed the opera robe by the stream and handed it to Chen Yan, but when Zhang Qin questioned him, the opera robe mysteriously reappeared in his arms. Chen Tan and his wife, being escorted away by the enforcers, looked through Chen Yan's body, staring fixedly at him, roaring and cursing. On Han Shuang Street, enforcer Zhang Qin followed his finger and looked at the darkness in the corner of the street, but only saw a blurry shadow. Chu Muyan stood at the door of the house, which was full of holes, holding a letter, and said to the empty room, I heard that Mr. Chen needs a open black lens bracket doctor close black lens bracket. So I came. The empty room was being repaired. The torn cotton padded coat was mended. But from beginning to end, no one had ever spoken to Chen Yan. All of this seemed to indicate that Chen Yan had existed, like a ghost beside him. Or rather, just his own bizarre delusion. Chen Ling kept digging, and the soil below gradually seeped out blood. Just as he was about to continue digging, a hand suddenly grabbed his wrist. Immediately after, a large red opera robe was gently draped over him, shielding him from the swirling snow. Chen Ling was stunned. He looked up and saw the familiar young man squatting in front of him, tears streaming down his cheeks. Brother, stop digging, I beg you. Please stop digging, okay? Ayan. Chen Ling stared at him blankly. His hands, covered in blood and mud, lifted, seemingly wanting to touch Chen Yan's cheek. He touched him. Ayan, are you alive? Chen Ling's voice trembled slightly. You are alive, right? Chen Yan glanced at the bloody soil, lowering his head, not daring to meet Chen Ling's eyes. I'm already dead, brother, but you're clearly right here. I'm here because of your power. Chen Ling was stunned for a moment. Me? How'd I have such power? Before he finished speaking, a raging blizzard engulfed Chen Ling's vision. The next moment, Chen Yan's figure disappeared again, as if he had never appeared. Open black lens bracket audience expectation +5 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket current expectation, 63% close black lens bracket. Chen Ling's gaze uncontrollably fell on the 2 lines of characters that appeared in the snow. As if he had thought of something, his pupils slightly contracted. The audience possesses the power to influence reality. After he transmigrated, they influenced the things around him more than once. The water stains in the kitchen, Lin Doctor being pranked, the bone carver being gnawed, but ever since Chen Yan appeared, they seemed to have stopped interfering in his life. So, the appearance of Chen Yan in his eyes was also the audience's masterpiece. It's you. Chen Ling's blood-stained hands clenched tightly. He glared at the void before him, the veins on his neck bulging one by one. You made me see him, you made me get used to him, from the beginning. You just used him as a tool to deceive my feelings, and then destroy them with your own hands. You've been waiting for this moment for a long time, haven't you? Open black lens bracket audience expectation +5 close black lens bracket. The appearance of another line of small text completely ignited the anger Chen Ling had suppressed in his heart. He suddenly scrambled up from the snow, his red robe roaring in the storm, like an enraged lion. Are you satisfied now? Have you seen enough of this play? Is it satisfying? Do you think I acted well? F*******U. Chen Ling seemed to have imagined that in that dim theater, countless scarlet eyes peered through the grand curtain, watching him converse with Chen Yan for the past few days, watching him promise to perform at the New Year's Eve party at school, watching Chu Muyan ponder alone on the side. They designed everything, they knew everything, they watched him pour out his emotions on stage, and the corners of their mouths in the darkness couldn't help but curve upwards. He felt like a clown indulging alone in a false performance, serving as entertainment for others. His chest heaved violently, the flames of anger seemingly wanting to burn away the heavy snow. He frantically searched in the snow, trying to find a knife or a gun to end this absurd life. He refused to be a clown, and even more so, he refused to be a tool for the audience to play with. Just then, his foot suddenly slipped, and several items slid from his pocket, falling onto the pristine white snow, reflecting a silvery glimmer. 9 silver coins. It was the payment that Xianxia had personally handed him with a smile this morning. The moment he saw these silver coins, Chen Ling's pupils contracted. He stopped, and a clear light appeared in his angry eyes, then turned into an even stronger hatred. He stood in silence for a long time, then bent down and picked up the silver coins one by one. All right, Chen Ling's voice was incredibly hoarse. He slowly raised his head, looking in the direction of 2nd District, his eyes flickering with unprecedented killing intent and madness. Don't you want to see a good show? Then I will perform another one for you. Chen Ling smiled, his smile amidst the swirling snow and ice. Like a demon. Chapter 35, Lost. 2nd District, Bingchen Street. At the end of the street, a mansion spanning several hundred square meters buzzed with activity. Numerous torches were scattered throughout the estate, and under the sweeping heat, the falling snow melted silently before it could even touch the ground. This place was usually uninhabited, like an abandoned, forgotten house, but only a select few knew that the owner behind this grand mansion, which could buy half of Han Shuang Street in the 3rd District, was named Ma Zhang, and at this moment, the mansion, abandoning its former desolation and decay, was filled with an unbroken stream of captivating music. The flirtatious cooing of women and the hearty laughter of men blended together, creating what seemed like a paradise of bliss. Brother Ma's mansion is truly impressive. It's a shame it's been left abandoned for so long on weekdays. Xianxia, dressed in the black and red uniform of an enforcer, sat in the front row, squinting at the scantily clad women dancing on stage, unable to help but sigh with emotion. What's there to regret? Brother Ma's house in the 3rd District is even bigger than this one. Another enforcer sat beside him, clinking his wine glass with Xianxia and downing the fine vintage. I'm so envious. When can I buy a mansion like this? With Han Meng dead, no one can disrupt our business. In a few more years, each of us brothers will have one. Ha 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 ha. Come, another toast. By the way, hasn't Brother Ma arrived yet? He's already on his way. He said to let us enjoy ourselves first. Xianxia nodded, and just as he was about to say something more, Ji Yu Dao, Boneblade, walked over to Xianxia, one arm around a dancing girl, a smile on his face. Come, let's toast our boss Qian. There were some misunderstandings between us before, but from now on, please take good care of us in business. Boss Ji Yu is joking. This time Brother Ma is hosting. I'm just here to freeload. Xianxia laughed, but when it comes to business, it's definitely about sincere cooperation and mutual benefit, isn't it? Well said, mutual benefit. The 19 Bingchen Street residents present all rose to clink glasses with Xianxia. Some were in the firearms business, some in the drug business, and some in the flesh trade. But at this moment, they all smiled so gently and harmlessly that if someone were to mistakenly wander in, they would most likely think this was a gathering of business magnates. Boss Qian, how was that batch of goods a few days ago? Ji Yu Dao, Boneblade, seemed to recall something, lowering his voice with a chuckle. That heart, and those organs, the quality was good, right? Good. Xianxia nodded slightly. The buyer was very satisfied. It's not common to find a buyer with such a big hand, buying all the organs in one go. That batch of goods, did it go into Aurora City? Hearing the words Aurora City, Xianxia's eyes narrowed, and he slowly spoke. Boss Ji Yu, in this line of work, it's best not to ask about things you shouldn't. Be careful not to invite trouble. Ha 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 ha, I was presumptuous. I'll punish myself with a drink. Ji Yu Dao, Boneblade, drained his glass in one gulp, his gaze fixed on the seductive, voluptuous dancers on stage. His hand, resting on the shoulder of the woman beside him, automatically slid down, idly playing with her amidst a soft whine. Speaking of which, it's always the same few acts. Is there nothing else? What else do you want to see? I heard that performances in Aurora City also include singing, skits, magic, and opera. How come here we only have dancing? You said it yourself. That's in Aurora City. In a place like the 3rd District, where would you find so much variety? It's already good enough that we can find you this many dancers and accompaniment. How boring. Ji Yu Dao, Boneblade's cheeks flushed with a drunken blush. He pushed away the two beauties in his arms and walked directly to the center of the stage. The formation of the dancing girls was broken, and they looked at each other in confusion and bewilderment. To the side, below the stage, the few people who were keeping rhythm with drums and playing string and wind instruments also abruptly stopped. Don't stop. Keep dancing. Yu Dao, Boneblade's body gently pressed against the back of one of the dancers. His hands snaking over her body, finally grabbing her wrist and manipulating her dance steps like a puppet on strings, making her writhe on stage in a strange and awkward manner. The dancer's face turned pale with fright, but she dared not resist, only allowing Yu Dao, Boneblade, to manipulate her body. The other dancers glanced at Xianxia below the stage, pretending nothing was happening, and continued to dance in unison. The drum beats resumed, the string and wind instruments played melodiously. Ha 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 ha, Yu Dao, Boneblade. Your dancing is too ugly. Why don't you let me do it? No, I think he's dancing quite well. Keep dancing, ha 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 ha. I didn't think you had a talent for dancing. Give us a pole dance. Quote. Seeing this, the people of Bingchen Street below burst into laughter, as if they had found a great source of amusement, pushing the lively and boisterous atmosphere to an even higher climax. Just then, a figure pushed open the mansion gate in the heavy snow and slowly walked in. What? Has Brother Ma finally arrived? Everyone turned to look, their gazes falling on the front yard, but they all froze in place simultaneously. It wasn't Ma Zhang who arrived, but a young figure draped in a red theater gown. He silently stepped across the stone path of the front yard, the falling snow speckling his temples white. In the pale world, that crimson hue was so dazzling and scorching. Upon recognizing the person's face, most of the people inside changed their expressions, as if recalling something, and their eyes showed resentment and malice. At the same time, Xianxia was slightly startled. He exchanged glances with the enforcer beside him and rose from his seat. Brother Chen Ling, why have you come? A warm smile appeared on his face. Look how unfortunate. As soon as you left, the 2nd district and 3rd district were unsealed. We just wanted to hold a celebration to be happy. I was just saying that I should have kept you this morning to join us. Come, since you're here, sit down and have a drink with us. Chen Ling did not answer. He calmly walked through the windy, snowy courtyard, his muddy shoe soles stepping into the house, leaving deep imprints. No need, he said faintly. I came to retrieve something. Retrieve something? Did you leave something behind? Under everyone's gaze, Chen Ling walked through the banquet, step by step onto the stage. His gaze, from beginning to end, was fixed on Yu Dao, Boneblade. Oh, I thought it was someone else. Turns out it's Enforcer Chen. The drunken Yu Dao, Boneblade, sneered, releasing the dancing girl in his hands and pushing her aside. What? Dressed like this? Are you going to perform for us brothers? Now that Han Meng was dead, Ma Zhang once again had absolute power in the 3rd district. Yu Dao, Boneblade, and the others didn't believe this kid Chen Ling would dare to court death. Now, the 2nd district and 3rd district were their domain. Ha 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 ha, come on, let him perform. He's dressed like this. Is he going to sing opera? Which act will he perform? Quote. Everyone at this moment was fearless. They held their wine glasses, their gazes toward the red-clad Chen Ling filled with mockery. Xianxia's brows furrowed tighter and tighter. He vaguely felt that something was amiss. Chen Ling, if you lost something, just tell me, I'll go find it for you. I lost a heart. Chen Ling stared intently at Yu Dao, Boneblade's face. And my brother's life. The next moment, a hand instantly pierced through Yu Dao, Boneblade's chest. Chapter 36. Who can punish me? Scarlet blood splattered across the screen behind the stage. The drum beats and string music from both sides of the stage instantly vanished. Everyone was stunned, their pupils suddenly constricting. The intense smell of blood suppressed the alcohol in their bodies. They abruptly stood up, their faces filled with disbelief. Yu Dao, Boneblade's gaze slowly lifted from his blood-soaked chest to Chen Ling's face. He seemed to have thought of something. You are that kid's brother? A large amount of blood gushed from his throat, making his words incoherent, and his expression was utterly terrified. You like to dig out other people's hearts and lungs? Chen Ling's cheeks were covered in blood, and his eyes revealed intense hatred and madness. Today, I'm going to dig you out completely too. Give me the blade. Chen Ling raised his hand towards the void behind him, at the waist of a Bingchen Street resident who was standing frozen in the audience. A sharp dagger suddenly vibrated violently, as if an invisible hand grasped the dagger's hilt. It was yanked from its sheath and whistled towards Chen Ling in the center of the stage. The audience was cooperating with his performance. Chen Ling gripped the dagger and, like lightning, plunged it into Ji Dao, Boneblade's chest. Following the bloody hole he had opened with his hand, ripping him open in an instant, Ji Dao, Boneblade, uncontrollably opened his mouth wide. The extreme pain making him want to shriek, but the constant gush of blood from his throat blocked his windpipe, leaving only painful whimpers. Blood mixed with organs flowed out from the incision. Ji Dao, Boneblade, knelt weakly to the ground. He frantically tried to stuff those things back in with both hands. But after only a couple of fumbles, his movements slowly stopped. He was dead. Reflected in his pupils were the bloody stage and everything of his own, moreover. Terror and helplessness. Chen Ling looked at Ji Dao, Boneblade, kneeling dead before him, his expression not changing much. This was his first time killing someone, but perhaps due to the hatred and surging adrenaline, he didn't feel much, aside from a slight, faint nausea. He didn't notice that at this moment, above the heavily falling snow, a black star faintly lit up. Chen Ling, are you insane? As an enforcer, you kill people wantonly without reason. You will be punished. Xianfan's pupils involuntarily widened when he saw this scene, and he immediately roared. On the bloody stage, the figure in red slowly turned around. The young man's cheeks were still covered in hot blood. He held the dagger, looking down at the terrified crowd below, his eyes filled with killing intent and madness. At this moment, on the stage screen behind him, dense bloodstains faintly lit up, like countless scarlet eyes opening in the darkness. Sitting in the void audience seats, watching everything. Open black lens bracket audience expectation +5 close black lens bracket. Whoosh. With a soft sound, all the torches in the mansion simultaneously extinguished. Punish me? Chen Ling chuckled. He slowly raised a fingertip, dipped it in the hot blood on his cheek, and drew a streak of blood at the corner of his eye, the face of Chen Yan, who once had red makeup. And Chen Ling's face vaguely overlapped, and his entire aura instantly became demonic and bloody. He was the departed soul Chen Ling, and also the departed soul Chen Yan. A character in a play performing alone under the gaze of the annihilation disaster. By what right do you punish me? You, who can punish me? The next moment, the red-clad figure instantly vanished from the stage. A dagger simultaneously cut through the void, so fast that no one present reacted. Immediately after, a muffled groan sounded, and a Bingchen Street resident closest to the stage spurted blood from his neck and fell to the ground. Li Meng, Sun Laoliu, and the others turned pale with fright. They had all fought Chen Ling before and knew his terrifying nature. The most crucial thing was that today they were all here to enjoy the celebration. And almost no one brought guns. At most, they had 2 cold weapons hidden on their person, but even when they had guns in the tavern, they couldn't deal with Chen Ling. Let alone now? The Red Phantom moved through the seats, frantically harvesting the lives of these people. As he killed more and more, Chen Ling had completely overcome the slight shadow of disgust, and instead, became inexplicably skilled. Amidst the vast falling snow, a bloody and bizarre massacre was taking place in the mansion. At the same time, 100 meters away from the mansion, he actually attracted the attention of the soldier god path. Chu Muyan stood under a snow-covered tree, gazing at the distant mansion. I didn't expect him to be such a genius in killing people. It's not just the soldier god path. In the void, the figure of a shadow man, completely shrouded in darkness, slowly materialized. Didn't you notice? The Wu God Dao's star also reacted. Wu God Dao? Chu Muyan was startled. What does he have to do with the Wu God Dao? Why would he attract the Wu God Dao? I don't know. But don't you find it strange? What? How can a fusion person trigger divine path attention? And he's a fusion person with an annihilation level behind him. There's nothing strange about it. He merely triggered attention, as if his own talent was noticed by the divine path. But he hasn't truly obtained divine grace. The path to godhood will not be left to monsters. So that's how it is. But this kid is indeed crazy and ruthless enough. Your judgment is good. Chu Muyan smiled faintly, saying nothing. But he's in trouble next. Why? I smelled it. The shadow man paused for a moment. That enforcer named Xianfan has the aura of a sacred artifact on him. Ellipsis. The mansion. As Chen Ling's hand rose and fell with the blade, 7 or 8 Bingchen Street residents successively perished. Without hot weapons, these Bingchen Street residents almost uniformly chose to flee. But their speed was far inferior to Chen Ling, who possessed killing rhapsody. They were caught and killed one after another as soon as they reached the front yard. Brother Fan, what do we do? An enforcer asked anxiously. He should have already obtained divine grace and entered the divine path. Xianxia recalled the scene of Chen Ling conjuring the dagger out of thin air just now. His face extremely grim. Damn it, which divine path did he actually embark on? Then doesn't that make him an enforcement officer? Another enforcer's face turned pale. How could we possibly beat him? Why isn't Brother Ma here yet? It's too late. If this continues, not only will Bingchen Street be completely annihilated, but we might not even save our own lives. A ruthless glint flashed in Xianxia's eyes. He reached into his embrace, and something wrapped in black cloth appeared in his palm. As he gradually unwrapped the black cloth, a broken finger bone was exposed to the air. Chapter 37. Divine Grace Descends. Sacrificial artifact? The two enforcers beside him widened their eyes in shock at this scene. As this finger bone was exposed to the air, an inexplicable heat spread inside and outside the house. The swirling snow was isolated outside the courtyard, as if an invisible domain had opened. Xianxia held the finger bone, looking at the red-clothed figure wreaking havoc in the distance, his eyes flashing with murderous intent. He had bought this sacrificial artifact 2 years ago in the black market of the 5th district, spending most of his fortune. It was said to have come from the corpse of an enforcement officer contaminated by a Grey Realm convergence. For so many years, this item had been his trump card for survival, never used. But this time, he had no choice. Catch him, Xianxia roared, thrusting the finger bone into his palm. As blood flowed onto the finger bone, it seemed to come alive, frantically devouring Xianxia's flesh and blood. At the same time, a shadow flashed across the surface of the finger bone. In the courtyard, the snow-covered ground suddenly trembled. Chen Ling felt a blur before his eyes, and the snow beneath his feet suddenly exploded. A pale barb, like a giant's rib, shot up from the ground, piercing his shoulder like lightning. Even though Chen Ling had vaguely seen the trajectory of that rib, its appearance was too sudden to react in time. In a moment of urgency, Chen Ling subconsciously shifted his body, avoiding his vital points. The sharp pain of flesh being pierced came from his shoulder, and Chen Ling's movements stalled. Immediately after, the second and third ribs burst out from the ground. Chen Ling's body had already been pierced by the first rib, leaving almost no room to dodge. He could only barely move his body, brushing past the ribs to avoid them somewhat. But by doing so, his range of movement became smaller and smaller. As the fifth rib appeared, Chen Ling was completely locked in place, like a prisoner confined in a bone cage, unable to move. What is this thing? Chen Ling looked at the finger bone in Xianxia's hand, his expression extremely grim, as his flesh and blood were continuously devoured by the finger bone. Xianxia's body had shrunk by half, like a malnourished scavenger, but as the ribs stopped appearing, his body also stopped thinning. Seeing this, Xianxia immediately pulled the bone joint out of his body and tremblingly reinserted it into the oil paper, a smile appearing on his pale lips. From the effect, the money was well spent. This was already equivalent to the destructive power of the second stage of a god path. Seeing Xianxia subdue Chen Ling so easily, the other two enforcers were secretly alarmed. Under their worshipful and fearful gazes, Xianxia slowly moved his body and walked into the courtyard. How about it? Xianxia sneered. Did you enjoy killing just now? Bodies lay scattered in the snow of the courtyard, and flowing blood stained the ground dark red. Chen Ling, imprisoned in the bone cage, coldly looked at Xianxia before him, his demonic and bloody face showing no emotional fluctuation. Is acquiring divine grace so impressive? Even if you were a quasi-enforcement officer, didn't you still end up in my hands? Kid, I don't care what grudge you have with Bingchen Street. You're dead? Do you know how many people's interests you've harmed? Xianxia slowly pulled out his gun. The dark muzzle pointed at Chen Ling's forehead. As he spoke, his gaunt face was filled with malice. Oh no, I can't let him kill Chen Ling. Seeing this scene, the shadow man observing outside the mansion's courtyard frowned, and immediately prepared to act. Wait, Chu Muyan suddenly spoke, his eyes under the spectacles shimmering with an unusual light. Something isn't right? The shadow man was stunned. What do you mean? Inside the mansion's courtyard, with the gun pointed at his head, Chen Ling remained unmoved, his eyes as calm as an abyss. Just as Xianxia was about to pull the trigger, the two stars in the sky suddenly brightened. A magnificent and vast divine light, like a giant pillar descending from the heavens, broke through the snow curtain and enveloped Chen Ling in the bone cage. Boom! The surging god path aura swept out ripples in the void, forcing Xianxia back several steps, causing him to stumble and fall to the ground. He looked at the two divine pillars descending from the sky in shock. His eyes filled with disbelief. Divine grace? How is this possible? Didn't he already receive divine grace? The black one is the soldier god path, and the purple one is the Wu god Dao? The other two enforcers were also extremely shocked. To be simultaneously favored by two great god paths. What kind of monster is this kid? Under the stunned gazes of the three, Chen Ling, covered in blood, slightly raised his head and looked at the two stars above, from which ribbon-like divine radiance extended. A hint of surprise also flashed in his eyes. He had just been prepared to die again. After all, his expectation value was already sufficient. And even if he died, he would most likely be able to revive directly. But he never expected that he would actually trigger divine grace. And it was two of them. Speaking of which, when he killed Ji Yu Dao, Boneblade, just now, he did have a strange feeling. It wasn't joy or disgust, but a feeling, as if he was born to do such things. According to what Chu Muyan said before, this was his first time killing someone, and he had triggered the favor of the soldier god path, making him a peerless genius of the soldier god path. But Chen Ling didn't understand. What was that second purple star? Just as Chen Ling was wondering, in the sky, the third star slowly lit up. It was a vermilion star, dotted in the sky, sparkling transparently like glass. Ribbon-like divine radiance passed through the void, enveloping Chen Ling along with the divine radiance of the other two god paths. Chen Ling was stunned. There's another god path? 3 god paths descending with divine grace simultaneously. How is this possible? Wait, which god path does this star represent? How come I've never seen it before? Qian Fan and the other two were completely dumbfounded. At the same time, the two outside the mansion's courtyard were also somewhat surprised. Color like cinnabar, form like glass, there's no mistake, this is the drama god path. The shadow man mused. The drama god path? That's quite rare. Chu Muyan frowned slightly, but what does he have to do with the drama god path? Is he very good at acting? Or singing opera? As far as I know, no, but his imaginary younger brother is. 3 great god paths appearing simultaneously with divine grace. If it were peacetime, he would definitely be a top genius. But unfortunately, the shadow man shook his head. Unfortunately, he is a fusion person, destined to be unable to walk the god path. With 3 great god paths appearing simultaneously, someone in Aurora City must have noticed it, and they will definitely send people over. No need to wait for Aurora City. The shadow man slowly turned his head and looked in a certain direction in the snowstorm. An enforcement officer has been approaching here and is almost here. We can't let him interrupt all this. I'll go stop him. Chu Muyan turned and walked in that direction. No need. Why? Someone has already gone to stop him. Chapter 38. Soldier God Path retreats. In the vast snowstorm, a black trench coat moved slowly forward. Black boots left one footprint after another in the snow, and blood dripped from the hem of the coat, dotting the snow, like leaving a thin, long red line. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Sparks from flint ignited the cigarette, and he took a deep drag of the thick smoke, exhaling slowly. It's almost cleaned up, only a small remnant remains. This time, let's finish it all at once, he murmured. On the blood-stained hem of his trench coat, 4 silver patterns shimmered faintly. Just then, in the gray sky, 2 stars lit up simultaneously, and ethereal divine grace descended upon the distant residence. Seeing this scene, his eyebrows slightly arched. Divine grace? Judging by the direction, it should be Ma Zong's house. A divine grace user actually appeared among those remnants? As he murmured, another star lit up, and the 3rd divine grace poured down. Favored by 3 soldier god paths? His surprise finally turned to shock. What kind of monster is this? He unconsciously quickened his pace. Snow fell, and the cold was bone-chilling. The outline of the distant residence flickered in and out of view. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. His brows furrowed tighter and tighter. No matter how he walked, the residence remained blurry, showing no sign of getting closer, like a mirage in the heavy snow. Finally, he seemed to notice something and looked back. Unbeknownst to him, all the footprints from where he came had disappeared. The cold wind whimpered in his ears, and in the vast white world, it felt as if he was the only one left. Who? He asked coldly. His voice dissipated into the swirling snow, as if swallowed by some monster, and an eerie silence hung in the air, playing tricks. A hint of killing intent flashed in his eyes, and his right hand gripped the gun hilt at his waist. An invisible domain suddenly spread out. He closed his eyes. The cigarette in his mouth burned silently. And he seemed to be intently perceiving something. Suddenly, he raised his gun like lightning, aimed at a certain direction beside him, and pulled the trigger without hesitation. Bang! The power of deconstruction tore through the void, shattering all the snowflakes in its path. At the same time, everything around him seemed to ignite like paper. The ground, the sky, the snowflakes, the outline of the distant residence. He was like being wrapped in a giant cocoon. And with this gunshot, the giant cocoon shattered. The sense of illusion around him receded like a tide, and the distant residence became clear again. Oh! A soft exclamation came from beside the bullet's trajectory. He turned his head and saw a boy with a white paper covering his face, half crouching in the snow, holding a branch in one hand, his eyes peeking through the clumsily poked holes in the paper, looking at him in surprise. On the snow in front of the boy, there was a large circle outlined with a branch, and the man's figure was now trapped in the center of this large circle. However, in the direction where he had just fired, a gap had been opened in the large circle. I thought you'd have to walk a few more minutes to notice. The boy shrugged. It seems I underestimated you. As expected of the legendary genius enforcement officer. Who are you? Han Meng frowned as he stared at him. He could feel that the boy's aura was even stronger than his. He should have already entered the 5th stage. But he was already 25. The boy in front of him looked at most 15 or 16. A 5th stage at 15 or 16? He had never heard of such a genius in the Aurora domain. I've got my face covered. How can I tell you who I am? The boy pointed to the white paper covering his face, then seemed to feel a bit out of breath. So he casually poked another hole where his nose was, and continued to say eerily, "You're so old, why isn't your brain working?" Han Meng's face instantly turned ashen. Do you know what crime you will be judged for obstructing an enforcement officer from performing his duty? Enforcement officer? Is that impressive? The boy chuckled, and with the branch in his hand, he casually drew a square pattern on the snow, which instantly appeared at Han Meng's feet, framing him within it. When you can walk out of there, I'll admit you're a bit impressive, probably about 1/10 as impressive as me. A smile appeared on the boy's face under the white paper. Han Meng looked down, and he didn't know when, but a huge playing card had appeared in the snow beneath his feet. Plum Blossom 8. The moment he saw the card face, Han Meng's pupils suddenly constricted as if he had remembered something. Twilight Society? Residence. Chen Ling stared blankly at the 3rd star that had lit up. A hint of confusion in his eyes. He didn't recognize this star, nor did he know why he could attract it. If killing triggered the attention of the soldier god path, then why did the other 2 soldier god paths come? Chen Ling couldn't figure it out, so he simply stopped thinking about it. For him, choosing which soldier god path to embark on was the problem he currently had to face. As long as he embarked on a soldier god path, he would gain extraordinary power. Perhaps one day, he could rely on his own strength to escape the audience. A person cannot embark on multiple soldier god paths at the same time. Just as a person cannot be split to walk 2 paths. Chen Ling looked at these 3 soldier god paths and made his decision with almost no hesitation. After all, among the 3 soldier god paths, he only recognized the soldier god path. Moreover, Han Meng's killing rhapsody had left too deep an impression on him. He even felt that the soldier god path might be the soldier god path most skilled in combat among all soldier god paths. Just as he was about to choose the soldier god path, a sudden change occurred. In the void behind him, pairs of scarlet eyes suddenly opened, like a sea of writhing shadows. The audience began to interfere with the performance. Boom, 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 boom. In the theater, countless audience members watching the performance simultaneously began to stomp on the floor. The dull roar like an unending thunder. Countless gazes were cast from the theater towards the 3 stars in the sky. At this moment, world-ending level power emanated with the scarlet eyes, as if an invisible and intangible super beast was silently roaring at the 3 stars. They were rejecting the soldier god paths. They were intimidating the soldier god paths. The next moment, the 3 stars in the sky trembled violently. The divine grace enveloping Chen Ling shattered inch by inch, like a heavenly divine road that began to collapse from its very bottom. The soldier god paths were afraid. They saw the monster behind Chen Ling, and those who had originally favored Chen Ling began to fear Chen Ling's existence. They did not want that monster to step onto their paths, just as no one would actively invite a fierce tiger into their home as a guest. Therefore, they severed their soldier god paths and retreated from the confrontation. The three divine graces enveloping Qianling shattered, and the path to the gods rapidly receded. At this moment, both Qianling and Xianfan and the others present were stunned. Chapter 39 Despair. What's going on? An enforcer stammered. Can divine grace be revoked? If the simultaneous descent of divine grace from the three divine paths was within their comprehension, then the current situation completely exceeded their understanding. They had lived for so many years and had never heard of anyone receiving divine grace only for their divine path to be severed. As expected, outside the residence, the Shadow Man nodded slightly. To finally obtain divine grace in a desperate situation, only to watch it retreat, what a pity. Chu Muyan had stayed at Qianling's house for so long that he naturally knew Qianling longed for the divine path. And a feeling of pity arose in his heart. Pity? The Shadow Man gave him a strange look. There are thousands upon thousands of people in this world with a divine path. But he is the only one who has merged with a world-ending calamity and still maintained his sanity. He is already a unique existence in this world. So what's there to pity? Chu Muyan shook his head and remained silent. Inside the residence, Qianling stared blankly at the three rapidly retreating divine paths. He had been abandoned by the divine path. That was possibly the only hope in this world that could free him from the control of the audience. He didn't know what had happened, only feeling apprehension from the divine paths. He looked back behind him, vaguely seeing pairs of eyes gradually disappearing into nothingness. It's you again. Qianling gave a miserable laugh. Right, I should have realized, once I embarked on the divine path, it meant there was a possibility of escaping your control. How could you possibly let it go unchecked? You wish I would stay on the stage forever, becoming a puppet for your amusement and entertainment. Qianling's smile gradually turned sinister, and deep despair emerged in his blood-rimmed eyes. Even the divine paths had retreated under the intimidation of the audience. As an ordinary person, he couldn't imagine how to escape them. Rather than being a puppet for a lifetime, Qianling would rather choose death. The favor of the gods receded like a tide. Qianling, in his red robes, was alone, propped up on the bones, laughing in despair and madness. Come on, Yu Qian. Qianling laughed wildly. Don't you want to kill me? Do it. Shoot me in the head. Remember, to kill me completely, you need to shoot twice. Xianfan was momentarily dazed before finally snapping back to reality. He looked at the seemingly insane Qianling before him, and a hint of killing intent flashed in his eyes. Although I don't know what's going on, since you don't have divine grace. Then just wait to die. He raised his gun again, aimed at Qianling's head, and pulled the trigger. Bang! This time, no miracle occurred. The bullet pierced Qianling's skull, instantly taking his life, shattering half of his head, splattering red and white matter onto the ground. The residents fell into a deathly silence. Xianfan and the others looked at Qianling, who had only half a head left, and their suspended hearts finally relaxed. It wasn't that they were timid, it was just that everything about Qianling was too bizarre. So bizarre that it made them doubt whether this guy was even human and if he could die. But now, no matter what he was dead. This kid is too wicked. Xianfan put away his gun, spat on the ground, and turned to walk into the house. As soon as he turned around, he saw the other two enforcers standing under the eaves, their eyes wide with terror. What are you doing? Fan, brother Fan, one of the enforcers tremblingly raised his hand. He. Xianfan frowned and looked back in the direction the enforcer was pointing. His pupils suddenly contracting, he saw the scarlet corpse propped up on the bones strangely straighten its body. And its dangling half-head slowly lifted. The shattered skull and flesh began to wildly squirm. The half-closed eyelids suddenly lifted, and the bloodshot eyeball stared fixedly at Xianfan. Yu Qian, didn't I tell you to shoot twice? One shot can't kill me. Can't kill me. The fractured vocal cords rubbed wildly, emitting a grating sound that made one's teeth ache. At this moment, even the experienced Xianfan and the other two were terrified, almost collapsing to the ground with weak legs. Monster! Monster! An enforcer screamed in terror. He's not human. He's a monster. Shoot! Hurry and shoot! Qianling roared madly. Shoot me in the other half of my head. Come on. This bizarre scene unfolded before the three of them, and Xianfan's hand even began to tremble. I know, it's you. Xianfan seemed to realize something. You are the calamity that descended that night. Hearing this, the other two enforcers also seemed to awaken from a dream, their faces growing even paler. They were truly scared. One should know that the two calamities that crawled out of the gray realm. One was a 3rd tier and the other a 5th tier. Neither was something they could deal with. Xianxia gritted his teeth, pulled out his gun from his waist again, and shakily aimed it at the red-robed monster imprisoned in the bones. At this point, he had no choice but to shoot. However, just as he pulled the trigger, the pistol seemed to be gripped by something, and the barrel was twisted into a knot. Xianxia felt a huge force hit his chest, and he flew backward like a broken kite, crashing through the house's entrance and heavily landing on the ground. The other two enforcers widened their eyes, staring fixedly at the void in front of them, but they couldn't see any sign of an attacker. There was nothing there, but in Chen Ling's eyes, it was not so. A familiar red-robed young man stood in the swirling heavy snow, slowly turning to look at him. His eyes were filled with tears. "Brother," he said, "brother, you can't just die like this. You can't just accept your fate." Chen Ling's head was slowly repairing, and his scarlet eyes stared blankly at Chen Yan. The madness finally receded somewhat. He spoke hoarsely. "Not accept my fate? Then what else can I do? Continue to be their entertainment? What's the point of that? But if you die now, you'll have nothing left. If I don't die, I still have nothing." Chen Ling murmured, "Even if I live, they will constantly interfere with my life. If they can create one of you, they can create a second, a third. One day, they will drive me mad. Brother, as long as you're alive, there will always be hope, won't there?" "Hope?" Chen Ling looked at Chen Yan's bloodshot eyes, remained silent for a long time, and then suddenly laughed. "I understand." Chen Ling looked back behind him, his bloodshot eyes seemingly staring at something. "You're scared. You know if I die one more time, I'll be completely dead. You're afraid that if I die, there will be no one left to perform for you. So you manifested his appearance, wanting to trick me into living, right, brother? Giving me illusory hope, watching me desperately chase after it, and then, just as I'm about to reach it, making that so-called hope vanish. This is what you want, brother. You want to control my life. You want to toy with my mind. You are delusional, brother." A roar interrupted Chen Ling's ferocious roar. He looked back to see Chen Yan standing there, his face streaked with tears, his gaze full of pleading. "Brother, I'm real. Believe me, everything I'm saying is real." Chen Ling remained stunned for a long time, struggle and pain appearing on his face. "Yan, I know, Chen Yan took a deep breath, wiped away the tears from the corners of his eyes, and an unprecedented determination appeared in his gaze. "Brother, you're not without hope." He reached into his bosom and took out a cloth bag. As the bag's opening was untied, small, vermilion-like glass beads fell out. "The path they severed, I will continue it for you." Chapter 40. The Twisted Drama God Path. One after another, cinnabar-glazed beads fell onto the snow, divine radiance flowing, like brilliant stars scattered across the human world. "This is..." Chen Ling was stunned. "Brother, do you know that red star represents drama?" Chen Yan looked up at the drama god path that was gradually receding in the sky and slowly said, "From the day I started teaching myself drama, I would occasionally sense its existence. It wanted to take me away, but I didn't want to go. Every time it went far away, I would leave a piece of its fragment. I thought that when I had saved enough, perhaps I could take you, and Mom and Dad, to the place it pointed to see what the end of drama was. It's a pity. In the end, I only managed to save 36 pieces. Now, I can't go." Chen Yan smiled helplessly. He slowly gathered all the cinnabar-glazed beads and vigorously swung them towards the receding drama god path in the sky. The next moment, countless divine lights burst forth from these drama god path fragments, rapidly intertwining in midair, reconverging into a ribbon-like, ethereal drama god path, chasing after the receding drama god path. "Brother, you must live. What exactly is at the end of the drama god path? Will you go see it for me?" The two sections of the drama god path collided in midair, and brilliant divine light illuminated the sky. The drama god path reconnected. The cinnabar star in the sky had never expected its drama god path to be forcibly left behind. Its divine light trembled in midair, seemingly trying to pull it back. At the other end of the drama god path, the young Chen Yan stood quietly. Although his body looked thin and frail, in terms of his talent for the drama god path, he was so powerful, transcendent, and steady as a mountain. He firmly nailed the starting point of the drama god path in front of Chen Ling. The drama god path had abandoned Chen Ling, but Chen Yan had not. What happened? Outside the courtyard, the Shadow Man and Chu Muyan simultaneously looked at the sky in astonishment. Beneath the cinnabar star, a broken path was rapidly being fully repaired. Why is the drama god path fixed in place? It chose Qianling? How is this possible? Even the usually calm and wise Chu Muyan couldn't help but widen his eyes. The two of them carefully scanned the area around Qianling in the center of the courtyard, but found nothing unusual. In their vision, they couldn't see anything. Wait, something's not right. What's not right? That drama god path isn't right. It's been twisted. I've never seen a drama god path like this. What happens if you walk on a twisted drama god path? If a road's signs are altered, then who knows where its final destination is? Heaven? Or hell? You mean? Go stop him. He must not walk on that twisted drama god path. Two figures rapidly rushed towards the courtyard. Qianling stared blankly at Chen Yan, who stood on the drama god path. Perhaps it was just an illusion, but his figure seemed to be gradually fading. Ayan. Qianling's pupils contracted. He didn't know where the strength came from, but he slowly pulled his shoulder out of the bone cage. The sharp bone tips tore through his flesh, and crimson blood dripped down his arm onto the ground, quickly forming a pool of blood. He gritted his teeth, but still couldn't help but let out a wail. After more than 10 seconds, he completely broke free from the cage and stumbled towards Chen Yan. Ayan. He reached out a hand to grab Chen Yan, but could only pass through the void lightly. Before, he had been able to touch Chen Yan. Brother, this time I'm really leaving. Chen Yan's face showed the pure and gentle smile unique to a young boy. This path is a bit different from other drama god paths. It will make your life more winding and difficult, but it might also allow you to get rid of those things. Where are you going? Qianling's face was pale from the heavy blood loss. Back to where I should be. At the same time, I will become the cornerstone of your drama god path. Chen Yan took a step back, fully revealing the drama god path to Qianling. His figure almost faded away, leaving only a voice lingering in Qianling's ears. Walk this path, and the world will belong to brother. Qianling, stop quickly. You can't walk that path. Chu Muyan's voice came rapidly, but Qianling seemed not to hear it. He wore a red theater gown, stood at the starting point of the drama god path, slowly raised his right foot, and then stepped onto it. Boom! The moment his foot landed, the ethereal, ribbon-like drama god path instantly solidified, like a blood-red staircase ascending to the sky. The next moment, this ascending staircase rapidly shrank beneath Qianling's feet, eventually transforming into nothingness. That twisted drama god path seemed to have disappeared, or perhaps it was already beneath Qianling's feet. Chu Muyan and the Shadow Man arrived at the scene, leaving Qianling standing alone. Head bowed. Qianling, did you not hear me call you just now? Chu Muyan frowned and stepped forward, about to say something more, when he suddenly stopped. What's wrong? The Shadow Man asked. Chu Muyan's voice sounded again. The Shadow Man was stunned for a moment. He turned to look at Chu Muyan, but found that the latter hadn't spoken at all. What's wrong? Immediately after, his own voice also came from in front. Both looked forward simultaneously. A bone-chilling wind swept across the snowy ground. The young man in the red theater gown, with his back to them, strangely twisted his neck backward. Qianling, did you not hear me call you just now? What's wrong? Qianling, did you not hear me call you just now? What's wrong? Qianling, I just called you. Chu Muyan's and the Shadow Man's voices, intertwined, came from Qianling's throat. At the same time, his face constantly switched between the two. Yes, switching. On Qianling's face, it was as if there was a calendar-like mask that could be torn off at will. With each sentence he spoke, he would transform into the appearance of the corresponding person, and by the next sentence, he would automatically tear off one and transform into the appearance of another person. Eyes, stubble, moles, voice, every detail was perfectly reproduced. The two watched their respective faces constantly switching on Qianling's face, feeling a chill run down their spines. What happened to him? The Shadow Man asked blankly. Generally speaking, stepping onto a drama god path means ascending to the first stage, and with each stage ascended, one automatically masters a corresponding path skill. His appearance should be caused by the first stage skill of the drama god path. Is the first stage skill of the drama god path face changing? Fang Kuei 7 told me that most of the skills awakened at the first stage of the drama god path are open black lens bracket 1000 faces close black lens bracket, an extension of the most basic disguise ability of an actor. From the description, it's very similar to Chen Ling's current situation. Then why does he seem not quite conscious? His drama god path is twisted. So the awakened skill should also be twisted. If there are no surprises, he's being backlashed by his own skill. I see. No wonder he kept mimicking us just now. But he's not mimicking anymore. Chu Muyan looked at Chen Ling, who had suddenly fallen silent, and frowned. I suddenly have a bad feeling. The shadow man was about to ask what kind of feeling, when Chen Ling looked up again. A layer of skin peeled off his face. Above Chen Ling's neck, the barrel of a large, pitch-black handgun was aimed at the two of them.